My most gratifying moment working with first-generation students and leaders is when I can see in their eyes as they start to believe in themselves. That amber of newfound confidence is magic. It is also a ripple set into motion by the slightest kernel of an idea. It is unstoppable. And when I think of ripples, I think of the ocean. I was born in the Caribbean. I know the beauty, calm, and tempests that oceans are capable of. The ocean feels limitless, like human potential. For our human potential to be realized, we need to make waves, build community, and help each other forward. In my work as a college president, I seek to make waves and ripples that will help others see the power they hold. I want my students and colleagues to be who they are, to find their voices, to discover their agency, and to use their power to create ripples in their lives that will help others. Today, I will share with you the story of consequential episodes in my early adulthood and illustrate the power of community. I came to this country when I was 12. I was raised in an immigrant family, and I left my parents' house as a teenager for a relationship that nearly ended my life. At home with my parents, my life was exceedingly difficult. Now, I'm the oldest of 7 children and a girl, which meant that the lion's share of caring for the family while my parents worked multiple jobs fell on me. I didn't mind caring for the family from age 14. In fact, I learned my earliest leadership lessons then. I had a routine. I woke up every morning at 3 a.m., I did my Latin homework, I cooked breakfast, and I prepped for dinner. After school, I picked up my baby sister from childcare, I cooked, I cleaned, I made sure my brothers did their homework, I kept them out of trouble. And on the weekends, my oldest brother and I went to the laundromat to do the family's laundry. We didn't have a washer and dryer at home. At school, I got very good grades, but not the A+ across the board that my parents wanted. I went to a very rigorous school, an exam school. In fact, the first public school in America. School was hard. My parents had very high expectations for me, but the standard of perfection across the board was suffocating me. My grades were never good enough. The house was never clean enough. I was never good enough, no matter how hard I tried. I was told that I was a failure, a disappointment. I became depressed. I had no self-confidence, no self-esteem. I even attempted suicide. But then I met this guy, right? He was smart and interested in political science. We went to lectures, we had debates, intellectual conversations. He exposed me to a whole new world, new music, new books, movies, new cuisines, a world so much wider than what I knew. He was charming, older, and charismatic, and with a vast of experiences far wider than what I knew. I felt loved, and I fell in love. So I left my parents' house and I moved in with him. And in no time, he started to physically abuse me. The love of my life beat me regularly. I was a student by day and an abused, battered 17-year-old by night. I felt betrayed. And despite his violent ways, and to appease my family, I married him. at 18. The beatings continued, and I stayed. I graduated from high school, and just as I started college, a former teacher, a woman 20 years older than me, saw me drowning and hauled me into a life raft when she took me in for half a year. My teacher saw potential in me that I could not see in myself. She shared with me a community of adults who knew the world more widely than I did. I found community in a diversity of people so different from my family of origin. And this new community saw my potential to grow into an adult of wide-ranging interests, pursuits, and skills. I became interested in the natural and physical worlds, the humanities, art, and so much more. At my teacher's house, I began to recover from fear, depression, and this deeply divided self. I knew that I could become something, even though I could still hear the voices saying that I was a failure. With my support network, I thrived in college. I completed my bachelor's degree. I moved to England to pursue my master's, and eventually earned my doctorate degree. My community helped me develop my confidence. They taught me how to network. They taught me how to advocate for myself and for others. They helped me navigate and thrive in the workplace. They created the environment where I could succeed and learn from my failures. They helped me see my own potential and turn that potential into reality. Now this is the power of community. Eventually, even my parents realized that I was not a failure. What was possible for me, especially as a girl, was so much more than what they could have imagined. And as a parent myself, I have to say that their parenting got better with my siblings. So today, my career is about unlocking potential in others, just as potential was unlocked in me. As a college president, I help to make a college degree possible for mostly first-generation learners, for students for whom college has not been a legacy, for students from urban, suburban, and rural areas who have historically not been well served by our colleges and universities. But beyond making a degree possible for them, I help to put them on a path to fulfill their full potential, have meaningful careers, and lead in their communities and chosen professions. But a college degree isn't just for getting a job or for building intergenerational wealth. Its purpose is also to help us become better people, more engaged citizens, better stewards of our natural, human, and other resources. Its purpose is to help us see each other's humanity and to work together to create a more just and equitable world. And more than making a college degree possible is seeing students' potential and letting them know that they have it. Because for most first-generation students and learners, we often cannot see our potential. We can't imagine the waves and ripples that we can set into motion. We can't imagine what is possible. The unlocking of human potential shatters some powerful chains that hold us back. Today, so many people live under the shadows of violence, past or recent, global or personal, violence within and outside of their homes. So as you consider your life's mission, your purpose, imagine the power of seeing and validating someone else's potential. Imagine the world that we could create if we were each able to fulfill, to achieve our own potential. It would be like the sun rising over an open, limitless ocean every day. Thank you, Michelle, Tony, Billy.